Hey there. Welcome to my stamp studio. I'm Lorraine Vachon, and today we're going to play with a stamp set called Sweet Farewell. So why don't I flip my camera and I can show you all this. There we go. So it's in the annual catalog. It's called Sweet Farewell, and I love, love, love these images. They're simple, and if you like coloring, then this is the stamp set for you, because the images you can stamp with the black memento ink, and then you get to color all of them. So it's a nice one. It's not just when you're going traveling, it's also if you're beginning a part of your life. This is the beginning of anything you want. It's not goodbye, it's just see you later. Will I fit in your luggage? Bon voyage. So it's a really, really nice stamp set. So let me show you the card we will be making today. It is, so I've chosen I can't speak in English today. I only have French words in my head. So this is Brume Mystérieuse, which is Misty Moonlight, I think. Is it Misty Moonlight? Let me check my colors. It's Misty Moonlight. Yes, we will be playing with Misty Moonlight, and we will be playing with this glitter paper here. I almost missed it. It's a really nice glitter paper. It's not this guy, because I have this guy and I love it, but it's this one here. It's the Ombre specialty paper. It's great because it's one color, and it starts from light to dark. And this one comes in Gorgeous Grape, Mango Melody, Night of Navy, and Poppy Parade. So what I chose to use was the Night of Navy here. I'm also using this really nice in color ribbon, and the in color is Polished Pink. It's called, yeah, Polished Pink. And yeah, so this is the card we'll be making. I'm also using those gems. They're really cute little gems. These here. So the in color jewels. I'm also using some of these. So why don't we get started? So I'm using a card base, a Misty Moonlight card base. That is 8.5 by 5.5. It's scored at 4 1/4. I'm also using for the outside, I'm using, it's called Basic White, and it is 4 by 5 1/4. And yeah, so I just need, I guess, this ribbon, which I don't have. I already stamped these images. So I stamped this one, is that what I stamped? And this sentiment, this is just the beginning of anything you want. A really nice card to give for graduation, or a wedding, or somebody who's starting a new job, or so it's a great versatile stamp set. Again, this is the Ombre glitter paper, which is really nice. I will need some of that, which is the Polished Pink open weave ribbon. And I will be coloring with my blends. So with my blends markers, and I'm going to use the light blue. Our light blue is called Balmy Blue. I've got the light and the dark here. I'm going to be using the Fresh Freesia, and I'm going to use the in colors mostly. So I have the light green, which is the Soft Succulents. So I have the light and the dark. So this is the dark, and the light is here. Yep, this is the light Soft Succulents. I am going to use also the pink, which is the Polished Pink, the light and the dark. For the wheels, I'll be using a gray. So I have this gray, and I decided for the camera to use kind of, so this is soft suede, so it kind of looks a little old-fashioned. It looks like it's like old photos, yellowing photos. So I'll be using those colors. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp. I'm not going to put the Bon Voyage. I'll just be stamping these here, the little paper airplanes. And and I'm going to use the in colors. I'm going to use the pale papaya, the polished pink, and the fresh freesia. So I'll put this aside right here, leave it there as reference. And put those there, and I will be using the airplane slide here. Stamp this guy right there. And I'll start with fresh freesia. And I'll put them a little everywhere like that. And I'll put one here and maybe one here like that. And that's it for fresh freesia. I will be using the polished pink next. Polished pink. And I'll do 1, 2, and maybe this guy, like that. And then I'll be using the pale papaya. Here, just want to make sure I cleaned it properly so I don't get polished pink in my pale papaya. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. 1 and 2 and I don't know, maybe I'll just go like this. There we go. Pale papaya. Okay, so this is my my focal point. So, well, not my focal point, it's the stamp, it's the it's what's going to go on my card base. So here's my card base, and it's going to go like this. I'm going to use my ribbon that I will pass under here. So here's my ribbon. So let me tell you what I've done here. So maybe you've seen this before. So I looked online to find the best way of of keeping my ribbon from unwinding on the spool. So I saw this done by somebody. So what they did is they took a piece of Scotch tape. So why don't I show you, because I do have one that I haven't done yet. So I will get my Scotch tape and I'll show you how I did it, and I'll do it on that one. So with my Scotch tape, this is a little trick I have. Okay, so with my Scotch tape, I'll use my Scotch tape, and my intention is of putting it here. If I put it here, it's going to be sticky here, and my ribbon will stick there. So what I do is I take another piece of tape and I put it here. Okay, so I put it here so that when I put my Scotch tape on my spool, the ribbon won't stick on it. Okay, so I wind this up, and then I stick it here and I stick it there, and then my tape doesn't stick onto here, and I'll do another one here. So again, piece of tape and a smaller piece of tape that I put here in the middle of this guy. Okay, so I'm putting it here, right there. I'm going to put it over there. Okay, so the sticky part is under here, and I'm going to just stick it here and there. And now it doesn't unwind. It does a bit, but not as much as the other ones that I have on my spools. So that's my little trick, and I found that this was the best way. I also found a new one, and what they do is they take a pair of scissors and they just go like this, and then, or just go like here, cut it here, and then they try to put it in there, but it hasn't worked for me. I did it and it's not really working. I found that this is the best way for me to do that. Other people put pens in them, but again, I don't know. This has worked for me. Just a little trick. Okay, so now I'm going to take a piece of ribbon. And the only thing that's annoying here is that I have to go like this and take it out. So, but that's not a big annoying thing. Now what I want to do is I want to bring this here, put a knot in there. So I think I'm going to need this much ribbon here, like that. And all I have to do here is just do a knot. I'm not doing a bow here, just doing a knot, trying to get it straight, just doing a knot, like that, here, a knot, and keeping my finger there to make sure that the knot doesn't get loose, and like that, and go. There we go. And this is what I have. So what I can do is I can snip off the excess like that, and like that. Ta-da! Now I can glue this on my card base. Just want to make sure I'm opening it this way. I'm going to glue it this way. Just putting a bit of glue. Put a line of glue there. And just glue it on my card base like that. Trying to center it so that 1/8 of an inch, there's 1/8 of an inch on every side, on the top, on the sides, and on the bottom. There we go. Now I'll put this aside because now it is time to color. This I can put this over, so I'm going to do that right now. The sentiment will be okay and ready to go. Okay, like this. So yeah, just like that. So I'll put this aside, wait for it to dry, and I can start coloring this. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to color my camera. So I did stamp it using soft suede, and I'm going to color it using soft suede. So when you buy the blends, these are alcohol markers. They have 2 tips. There's a bullet tip and there's a brush tip. And when you buy them, they come in a pack of 2. There's the light one. So this is the light soft suede, and there's the dark soft suede. So the way that I use them is I use the light first. And with alcohol markers, what I love about them is if you use regular felt markers, they have harsh lines. They give you harsh lines and you see the lines. With alcohol markers, you can prevent seeing those lines when you blend. So the way that I like to blend, and that's the way that I was taught how to blend, is I start with the light color, and sometimes it's not that obvious, so that's why I try to look on it so it says light soft suede. And I like using this brush tip because it's kind of like painting. So what I like to do is I kind of decide where I want this color, and in this case I want it everywhere, so I can just put it everywhere and I don't have to look at where I'm putting it. But I need to decide where I want it just to stay light. So I'm going to have here stay light, the lens stay light, this line here is going to be light, and maybe, so the inside and the outside ring is going to stay light, and the bottom is going to be light, and I'm going to want to put some shading. So next is I'm going to start using the dark. With the dark, I'm going to use the bullet tip because I want to be deliberate. I really want to show shading. Like for instance, I'm going to do this line here because I want it to be a bit darker. I'm going to do a line under here, a line here and here, and I'm going to go around the camera because I want it to be shaded. Okay, but then I'm going to come with the light here, and I'm going to use the brush tip, And I'm going to blend that harsh line here. Really going to blend. And when it dries, you'll see that the line won't be as harsh anymore. And I'm going to try to blend this also, this line. So I'm just going to go like this. And if you decide to leave a bit of white, it just looks like the light is hitting it. So it's okay to leave a little bit of white. I'm going to do these darker and do this darker also. Okay, so this here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little spot of white that I am leaving white because it looks like the light has hit it. But up here, I'm going to hide the white. I'm just going to go over the white like this. So you remember where I had those harsh lines? Can you see? They've all blended together. Okay, so I'm going to come over again and try. I want a bit more of the shading here to show and here. But then again, I am going to blend. So I'm coming back with my brush tip and I'm going to blend it here like that. And come back here like that. Okay. The other thing that we have with blends is a color lifter. So we've got this white marker. It is a color lifter. And when you go over the line, and if you want it, you don't want it to show. If you can see, I went over the line here, right here. Oops. Right here and here. So I'm just going to go over here and here. Not too much because I don't want it to, I just want that line to disappear. And it's still wet, but you can see that I've lifted the color and the color's gone. Okay. If it's really obvious and it's a really long, big line, then you can't, it's going to be hard to remove, but the smaller lines, it's easy to remove. Okay, so I've done the camera and I'm done with soft suede. Now I'm going to do the piece of luggage. So I'm going to use the blue and maybe I'm going to make it a pink piece of luggage. Why not? Or maybe the purple one. So again, I start with my light fresh freesia and I want to go everywhere. So I'm going to put it everywhere. I'm not going to go on the tags because the tags are going to be a different color. But I'm going to go everywhere. And like I said, it's okay if you leave a little bit of white and then afterwards you can determine if you want to put the white, you want to leave it white so that it looks like there's light hitting the object, or if you want to just color it in. So this is how I'm going to start, like that. Okay. And then I'm going to come over, maybe I'll just put this a little bit like that, and I'm going to come over with my dark fresh freesia, dark fresh freesia, and I'm going to do the lines here in dark fresh freesia. Okay, maybe I'm going to use a bullet point so it's cleaner. That. Maybe I'll do on the bottom and then blend it. That. And I'll go around the little tags. It's okay because even if it does look harsh right now, I know I can blend it with my lighter color. And I went around there, and now I'm going to go around this guy. Okay. Now I'm coming back with my light fresh freesia. I prefer to use, oops, it's in the glue. I prefer to use the brush point, the brush tip. I'm going to blend my colors. Okay, so that it's not as harsh. And because it's alcohol, it dries really quickly. There we go. And maybe I want it, oops, I'm going to go with the darker color. Maybe I want it to be a little darker here. Here. And come back with the light. There we go. Okay, so there we go. The top of, I'm going to do the wheels in gray. So here is the handle. I'm doing the handle. I'm doing the wheels. Coming back. So this is, I'm using the light smoky slate. I'm going to use the darker smoky slate using the bullet end, and I'm going to do underneath and here for shade, maybe, and then I'll do the wheels themselves and maybe just underneath here. And I'm going to blend with the light color. There we go. And again, I went over, I'm taking my color lifter and I'm going to go right here because I did go a little over here and here on the bottom of my wheel. So I'm going to color lift that. Can you see it? It's disappearing already. Isn't that cool? Okay, so that's done. And now I'll just do the tags. I'll use a little bit of the Balmy Blue. I always start with the light, so I'm going to do this guy, that, come back with the dark, first, oops, okay, there's my blend, that's what it looks like inside, but that's okay, and, okay, my cover is just too tight on there, just trying to get the top off. There we go. Okay. I'm using my bullet tip, going here to get the darker version. Like that. Here I have a kind of a photo of a sun, so I'm going to use my dark Mango Melody, using the bullet tip to go here with the sun. And then there, I'm going to use the blue for the ocean. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to be careful with this here. There we go. Put this here. And I'm going to do the ocean here. And the sky, we're going to do maybe a blue, not a blue, but maybe turquoise. Maybe I should have done so I'm going to do the ocean a turquoise, and then I'm going to do the sky a blue here, and there's a mountain, and then I'll do, this is soft suede, so I'm going to do the mountain like this, and there we go, and the blue here, I'll do the blue here. Blue. And oh, okay, so I've broken it. That's what happened. That's why it's coming out all the time. So I'm going to have to use some Gorilla Glue and get it fixed. There we go. Put this aside. And I'm going to use some of this dark polished pink and light polished pink, and I'm going to do this tag here. There we go. Going to use the darker one, and I'm going to really distinguish the dark from the light, and maybe I'll use some of this maybe a Magenta Madness. I'll use the Magenta Madness for around here. Get 3 pinks in there, and this last one I will use the Soft Succulents here, and I'm using the brush tip, and I use the dark one for the tag. Maybe I'll just leave it white, and I will do scribbles just so that it looks like it's somebody's name. I'll do the tag, and I'll do the zipper in the smoky slate. So now I have my elements. I need to fussy cut them because I want to put them on my card. So I will just use my snips here. And when I use my snips, my paper snips, so my scissors, I try to leave a little border because it gives it dimension. And what I'm doing is my scissors aren't moving. It's my hand with my image that is moving. And that way I get it closer and I don't go over, or maybe not that much. So yeah, so again, trying to leave maybe like 1/16 of an inch all around, in so that it stays white and it just gives it more dimension. And there we go. But these are small images, and it's a good thing you guys aren't seeing me, because I probably have my tongue stuck out the side of my mouth because when I concentrate, that's what I tend to do. So yeah, so once this is done, we're almost done. All we have to do is assemble the card. And all of these, I think I'm going to put everything but one item. Maybe on my other card, I glued the suitcase to the card and the rest were put up on dimensionals. So maybe that's what I'll do. So this thing is probably going to get stuck right there. This is going to come up on dimensionals, and this is going to be on a dimensional too. So this one should go fairly easy. It's a smaller one and it's almost a square shape. Yeah, so for here, around here, what I could do is I could just go around to the right, but I think I really want to give it more dimension. So by going all around and creating an empty space instead of a white space between the camera and the, what's that called? It's kind of a strap, the strap that you keep around your wrist so you don't lose your camera when you're taking photos, or you don't drop it. So I'm going to be, instead of creating a white space, I'm going to create an empty space, or a not an empty space, but a space that you can see through. Okay, it kind of looks more natural. And if I wanted, but that would be much more difficult if I wanted to create an empty space there and there. So I'll leave it white, and that's okay, because the base of my card that's on top of the blue one here is white, so that's okay. I'm almost done, and I will start assembling this card. So this is what I'm going to do here, and maybe I could just put it here so that, because there are no little paper airplanes underneath here, it doesn't matter if I don't see through it, because it looks like I can see through it. So why don't I start assembling with the glue? I will glue the luggage directly. I don't want too many of the elements on dimensionals. I want to give it different heights. The elements on the card, I want them to be different heights. So here's my piece of luggage. Then I'll pop this up on dimensionals. I'll use 2 here. And I can't use the smaller ones because this is too small, so I'm going to have to cut it. Hold on. Maybe I can cut this here, and that would fit. I'll use 2. So I'll cut this one here and there. I'll pick them up with my take your pick tool, like this. So I will pick them up here, like that, and I'll put one there. Oh, this is going to work out. Yep, it is right there. Okay, so I'm going to take the backings off the dimensionals. There we go. And I can glue this right here, like that. There we go. Like that, and this one up on dimensionals too. Oops. These don't want to come off. Okay, one there. Oops. Like this. And one in the middle. comes off. Doesn't want to come off. Okay. And this right like this. And here we have it. A really nice card. This is the beginning of anything you want. It would be a great graduation card. All I have to do is put a piece of white cardstock inside so that I can write on it. And this piece is like the piece on the front. It's 4 by 5 1/4, which will leave me about 1/8 of an inch all around when I stick it inside here to the right. And I have about 1/8 of an inch all around like that. There we go. And there you have it. This is the beginning of anything you want. I love that saying. So that's it for me this week. Next week, I can't remember what I'm doing, but it's probably going to be a great project. I can't wait to see you next week so we can make another project, a card, or I don't know, a project. So I'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.